Hello, adventurers, and welcome to a very late ZexTy's Tuesday update. The patch notes that I'll be going over is for June the 27th, so I am a couple of days late, but there was a lot to go over, so hopefully this will still be useful to some people who haven't gotten to look at the new content, but as always, there is new added content, new events, bug fixes, and improvements to the game. So there is a lot to go over, so I'll be leaving timestamps in the description, so if you want to skip to something in particular, you can always go down there, but then also I'll be making a lot of different videos for smaller portions of this, so new like bosses, new mini games, my guide on how I'm gonna tackle this new region. But without further ado, let's get into this. So as you can already see, this is the developer's commentary for Eternal Winter. So if you want, you can go ahead and read this. I won't be reading through a lot of this just because there is so much to go over. But basically, snow-chilled winds constantly blow in the mountain of Eternal Winter, occasionally accompanied by blizzards. So basically it says, you must complete the quest Enix, the Holy Flame from the story, the Mountain of Eternal Winter, to enter Everfrost. So with this, there is a new region. You have to complete a set of stories to actually get there. And then even new adventurers can complete the family quests. So it's pretty easy to access. All you need to do is do some quests. There's 5 Everfrost stories in total, and there's no CP requirement to access each of these stories. New adventurers can progress rapidly, etc., etc. So it looks like also the 100%, 200%, and 300% hot times are not effective in the Everfrost region. However, the Flute of Unity and French Toast buffs will be applied, so you can still use your normal combat buff and your special combat buff, but just be aware that those hot times don't count. So also while you're here, you can find broken winter altars in Everfrost, so that'll be kind of like a way to open up the map in ways that you can actually teleport and transport while you're in here. So citron tea is essential in fending off the cold in Everfrost. So if you've been playing recently, you know that we've already had an event where we use this tea. It's very similar to water in the desert, so you won't be able to spend all the time in the world here. You'll only have a set amount of time. So it also says Holy Vial is not spent here. So new region, Mountain of Eternal Winter. Under persistently harsh conditions and extremely cold weather, Everfrost monsters have adapted to survive with their high HP and AP. They can also detect targets at a wide range, which means you may find yourself in risky situations. So it seems like they have a higher range to like aggro on you, to like automatically attack you. But the CP for these monsters, it ranges by a lot. So the lowest monsters are 39,000 CP, 39,000, yeah, CP, and then it goes up to 60,000 combat power. So the rewards also change for each monster in different zones. The Void Sent Eye is a key material for crafting eternal accessories. So that's really good, and then you can also get these from looting monsters in these zones. So if you were to farm regularly, you can get this loot. But also, if you loot, or if you farm different monsters, you can get different drops from them as well. So whenever you get in there, kind of check the drop tables for the monsters and then kind of go from there. I'll get a little bit more into detail of like the strategy of how I'm gonna be going through the Mountain of Eternal Winter, whatever it's called, Everfrost. But basically, I'll be going over, like, how do I want to open up those teleports? How do I want to do the story? How do I want to get the knowledge for each of these monsters? And then also, which monsters do I want to farm in such an order that I can end up with all of the eternal accessories in the end? Just because, like, some of them drop the eternal accessories, whereas some of the other ones don't. But that'll be for another video, so hopefully I'll have that linked in the description in the near future. So these are all pretty much just pictures, so I'm just kind of scrolling through. And yeah, just a bunch of snow. And honestly, I've been running through here. I've I've liked it. It's pretty cool content. But the stuff that I'm most excited for is actually gonna be this right here. I'm not gonna try to pronounce this. I'm just gonna say Eric or Jork. I'm gonna say Jork from now on. But basically, Jork has long forgotten their duty to reclaim the holy flame and instead bask in the darkness that bloomed from, I don't know how to say that either, despair. Hence, they are called Dreadwinter Guardians, or Dreadwinter Guardians. So, to actually access this, it says Jork can be summoned by using the Dreadwinter Heart in front of the Heart Melting Flame. So, this is an item that drops from different monsters throughout this region. So, if you're lucky enough to get it, you'll have 3 days to summon this boss, and then it looks like an item, powerful summon Jork. It appears to be a finely crafted jewel. Can be used to summon. So whenever you summon it, you'll have 30 minutes to defeat it. And then the top 30 adventurers who inflict damage to it will obtain additional rewards. So you can summon it here at this this little hearth thing. So you can summon using the heart, interacting with the heart melting flame. So you'll bring it up here. This will be the heart melting flame, and then you'll summon the monster. So only the top 30 participants can obtain rewards from Jork, the Dreadwinter Guardian, and the user of the Dreadwinter Heart can obtain additional rewards. Knowledge level does not increase from defeating it. So you can also obtain these Winter Dream Fragments. I believe you're guaranteed to get this if you're the one who summoned it. So the summoner is guaranteed Winter Dream Fragment ×1 upon defeating Jork, and other participants will receive Winter Dream Fragment, Shattered Earrings of Rancor, Abyssal, etc., etc. So other drops. So this fragment that drops, it's gonna be a fragment for the new outfit, and then also these Shattered Earrings of Rancor is used for crafting material for the Eternal piece. So it'll be like a special drop. So you'll need 10 of these fragments to actually make this outfit, and then you'll need some other items as well, but this is pretty much what it looks like. So nothing too crazy, looks kind of nice. And then the next thing we'll be looking at are these mercenary mission boards. So with this new region, you can also access these mercenary boards. You can do 3 mercenary missions per week. And as you can see, a pretty important reward you get from doing these are those citron teas. Just from my experience, doing the excavation was the easiest one, just because you have to travel the land anyways, and excavating in this new region is pretty cool. But you can accept these mercenary recruit missions after completing the story Dregan, the Land of Dragons. You can complete up to 3 per week, so pretty much what I just said. But if you go to like any one of these little towns within the new region, you can find this board, and I would just say do them early on. There's also new fishing in this region. So since the explosion at the Iron Mine, only those with passes have been granted entry to the Altar Road. Those who couldn't manage, blah, 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 blah. So basically they made this camp, and you can fish here. So that's kind of cool. So scrolling down, this is kind of what it looks like while you're fishing. And then also it says in Everfrost, there is an ice fishing spot where citron tea is not consumed. You can catch the new crystal smelt from ice fishing. The character automatically creates a hole for the fish, so you don't really need to do anything special for this. You just, walk over and start fishing. You can fish in these towns, so Camp Jargle, Eilton, Snowstorm Guard Post, and then this Iron Mine. So these new fish you can use in your cooking. So there's a new there's something new to cook. So they've added these smelt fillets. So you can fish these smelt fish, and then you can craft them into fillets. And then once you've done that, you can cook these fried crystal smelts. So the ingredients aren't too crazy. You just need everything that's here, and then also the meal will be available for cooking once you reach professional cook, and then you can obtain special fried crystal smelts for a fixed chance of from your cooking. Okay, you can also deliver these for Media Merchant Union, and then also just the effects of it is 7,000 HP instantly, and then for the special ones is 7,700 HP instantly. But also, this is a really important part. You can deliver fried crystal smelt once per week to Bartunil to complete a quest. You can obtain a Void Sent Eye ×1, which is required to craft these eternal accessories. So once a week, make sure that you do this. You're gonna need to cook these, and you can basically just turn it in for a free item. So I'll be making a short video on how you can do that quest as well. Link will be in the description, and then the quest can be accepted after completing the Dragon story, blah blah blah. Okay. So the next thing is logging, foraging, mining, and excavating in this new region. So you can now excavate for these different, I guess, artifacts is what I'm going to call them. So it's just like the desert where you can roam around and you can find and collect these things to excavate. So mining, foraging, and logging will be available. You can complete the Great Desert Quest, excavations, and explorations to excavate. So you'll need to do the desert quest to actually unlock this. But with these new things, you can actually... So you have access to a new collection log. The first one's just going to be scenery, things that you've seen, and then you'll collect like paintings for it. The second one's going to be Marco dolls. So seeing something, you'll get this little doll. And then the last one's going to be from excavating. So you'll have to excavate, and then eventually you can unlock all of those collection logs. But these are the 5 new added stories. So they've added stories and knowledge. So pretty much you can just get to it from your story screen and then just do them. There's really no requirements. I would say the first thing that you should do is just do all of the stories. You'll collect some of those sceneries and the Marco dolls while you're doing that. And then also while you're running around doing the story, make sure that you're excavating along the way. While I was doing my story quests, I got all of the items that I needed for excavation for my story. So or for my collection log, so try to knock that out as early as possible. So the next thing is that they've added eternal accessories. I'm going to skip the developer's commentary, but you can obtain eternal accessories at a set chance in Everfrost, so you can get them from drops, or you can obtain them by crafting them. So it also looks like you can sell eternal accessories and Void Sent Eye on the market. So if you go to your crafting section and then go to accessories, these are going to be the crafting recipes for eternal accessories. So for every one of these, you're going to need Void Sent Eyes, Chaos Jewels, and Acrid. Each will have different costs for each of them. So the Eyes cost will be different, your Chaos Jewels will be different, and then your Acrid will be different. But these are the crafting tables. This is everything that you'll need to know. So for the ring, this is what you'll need. For the necklace, this is what you'll need. And as you can see, there's a lot of everything on there. So start saving now. But then also definitely make sure you're doing that weekly quest where you can get 1 free Void Sent Eye. And again, I'll show you how to do that quest pretty quickly. But yeah. And then looking at this, there are eternal accessory enhancements. So each eternal accessory requires a primal accessory of the same part for the enhancement attempt. Like for the primal, okay, so basically you're just gonna need, it's the same thing as chaos. You're gonna need a primal resource to upgrade it. So just kind of keep that in mind. You upgrade the exact same way. And then also there's eternal accessory resonance. So for every piece of eternal, you'll get another resonance. So just for having 1 eternal piece, you'll get 30 AP and then 27 DP. So all the way up till if you have all 5 pieces. So Chaos Accessory Enhancement Transfer. For eternal accessories, you can spend Chaos Accessories to transfer enhancement level, enhancements, crystals, and memory imprints. So this is going to be all transferable. All you're going to need is your eternal piece, as well as your awakened chaos piece, and then you can move everything over from that old piece that you have to the new one. And basically it'll be the exact same as it was before. I think you just lose your chaos piece, so that's kind of a bummer. I don't think that you get to get it like empty, like it's nothing. I think it's just gone. But I won't know for sure until I see it. So crafted recipes for twisted chaos energy eternal accessories. So this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. Basically there's gonna be some so like the ring of frenzy, the ring of all those like special rings or special necklaces, they can be used as materials for enhancement transfer as well. So you can transfer all these stats, all this, to like these new items as well. Not that many people have it, so it's not I'm not going to go too into detail for it because I don't even have any of these pieces, but basically just know that you can change all of these pieces. You can upgrade them to chaos or to eternal as well. So don't really worry too much about that. If you have it, just transfer it. It's not a big deal. You'll keep all of your stats, you'll keep everything, and there's pretty much no way but up. You pretty much can't mess this up, hopefully. So yeah. I am pretty much just gonna skip through this because it doesn't really pertain to me. Like, it's not something relevant for me. And then also it's pretty self-explanatory that to upgrade it, you'll need these materials and then also just transfer the enhancement. So if you do get confused or if you do have any of this, please refer to the patch notes and it should have everything that you need to get through this. So moving on, we have this fun new piece of content called Eilton Defense. So stand indomitable against the waves of enemies that dare to destroy Eilton in any means or way they can think of. So this is going to be, it's like a tower defense where there's something in the middle of the city and then there's 3 paths where where all the monsters can come through, and there's waves of enemies that you have to defeat. So this is really fun. I had a chance to do it last night, so that was pretty cool, but I'll be uploading a video on that as well. I'm not going to go too into detail on this, so I'll be skimming through pretty much everything. If you want to pause and read the developer's commentary, feel free to do that. But getting into this, it says they've added PvE content, Eilton Defense, in which many adventurers gather in Eilton to prevent the invasion of monsters. The monster energy will get stronger with each action you take in the Mountain of Eternal Winter, and the Eilton Defense will open after 24 hours from the point where the monsters are at max energy. After the maintenance on June 27th, the first Eilton Defense will open when the monsters are at half energy instead of max energy to provide the experience for new content. Okay, so you can participate in Eilton Defense for an hour after it opens. Citron tea will not be spent during participation in Eilton Defense, and you must complete the quest Enix, the Holy Flame, from the story The Mountain of Eternal Winter, and have a character in your family at 39,000 CP or higher to participate. So basically, while we're doing actions in the Mountain of Eternal Winter, these monsters are going to be powering up. Normally, Eilton Defense starts whenever they're at max energy, but for this week, they're going to be just at half energy, and it'll work. That's just because it's new content and will take longer to max it out. But basically, these are the rules. There's different waves. I'll be making a separate video on this, so you can check that out, or just read through the patch notes yourself to get a good feel of what's going to be happening. What I normally do is whenever something like this pops up, I'll always click the rules and then I'll read through the rules for what to expect. So it kind of tells you there's 30 adventures, you're defending this Winterland star, which is in the middle. There's going to be waves of monsters. Defeating monsters, you can obtain contribution points and AP buffs. So doing this, you'll get more AP to defeat these monsters, and then also you'll be getting points. Your rewards are based on your rank within those 30 adventures. So try to get more contribution points and you'll get more rewards. So Eilton Defense can begin when at least 20 and 20 and up to 30 adventurers are ready. You can participate in Eilton Defense once per week, and the participation count will refresh on Mondays at the beginning of the day. Entries will be spent when you collect the rewards after successful Eilton Defense. So yeah, basically read all this to make sure that you do everything you need to do. You'll need 3,000 points at least, contribution points, to obtain rewards, and then also the schedule will change if there's like holidays or anything like that. If you get DC'd and they finish it, as long as you're back within like 2 minutes of it finishing, I think you still get your rewards. So there's also these chat bubbles that you can kind of tell your team what to do, but only the top 3 adventurers with contribution can use these features. So here are kind of like the waves that happen. That's the first wave. These are like different gates. But yeah, I'll make a separate video for this. Sorry to keep harping on this. Hopefully link will be in the description. So if you're interested, check that out. And then also here's the general rules. So the Winterland Star recovers 10% of its max HP at the end of a wave. Missions can be started 30 seconds after a wave begins. Bosses appear 60 seconds after a wave begins. Monsters of each wave deal damage based on the adventurer's max HP. HP recovery rate plus 10% buff is applied after the start of wave 1. Destroy mission objectives. Objects from each wave to enhance this buff by 10%, stacking up to 100%. Mission objective, pathway, troll, catapult, suspicious burrow. So basically there's a lot of different missions and you can get different buffs from them. So defeating normal monsters, this will happen. Defeating violent monsters, you'll get some other effects. So it is kind of a lot to go over right now, so I'll go more into detail later. So I am going to speed this up. If there's anything that you want to look over more, feel free to pause it. But other than that, I will talk to you once it's done speeding through. So these are going to be the defense rewards. So the top 80% rewards, you'll get a Void Sent Eye ×1. You can get Primal Unknown Memory, Necklace. So basically anyone who's within the top 80%, so 80% of 30 people, can get these rewards right here. If you're in the bottom 20%, you can't get as good of rewards. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you want a chance to get a Primal Memory, you'll have to be in the top 80. And then also, there are new memory imprints with this. So there's now going to be necklace imprints and earring imprints. So these are going to be the possible memories that you can actually get from them. And as always, you can sell them on the market if you want. They're going to be a pretty low price for right now, but you can also buy them on the market if you want. So just kind of keep that in mind. These are the possible imprints that you can get for the necklace, and then the next one's going to be for the earrings. So moving on, we have the new class Guardian. I'm gonna try to not go into too much detail on this. I will just kind of be skimming just because of the length of this video and for how much content there is. But basically here are the new Guardian skills. Frostfallen Axe, which is a basic attack. Call of the dragon's blood coursing through your veins grants you explosive strength and regeneration. This is a passive. Moving on, we have renewed Guild Rush rewards. So for the normal Guild Rushes, they've added Abyssal / Primal Unknown Memories. That'll be for the ring. And then they've also added Crimson Crowns. They've doubled the rewards for pretty much everything else, and they've removed the accessory chest. For the special rushes, they've added the same things for ring and memory, and then also the Crimson Crowns. And then they've added Lightstone fragments, so that's pretty nice. This is kind of where we're getting into the actual like patch notes, so less content being added. So they have some class changes. So for Archmage, they've improved some things. For Invoker, they changed some things. For our improvements character, they've changed Shy's Bear to be unsummoned when it's too far away. For UI, they've improved the power gauge for cannons and watches to display the previously used powers. Okay. So it kind of tells you like, oh, this is where I hit them before. We can just do that again. System added a button to the crafting results screen for blah, 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 blah. So just little system changes. Change the invite window for Bloodkin Rush to not close when tapping outside the window. That's kind of nice. Change the design of certain elements within bounty missions and wanted missions. Okay. New item changes. So they increase the purchase limit on certain items sold by the Chaos Rift Watcher. So they made it where Guardian's Orb, pretty much all of these orbs and stones, you can buy more of them now. And then in the market, they've adjusted the minimum prices of items that can be registered on the market, adjusted the price range that can set when you register an item on the market, and then there's bug fixes. So all classes, there was a bug fix, so that's interesting. And then there's some for Grandmaster, Berserker, Sage, and I think that's it for the bug fixes for them. So I won't go too into detail on them. They don't really matter that much to me. System improved family character to appear to move correctly in content such as Constellation, Louis, the Temple, in Great Desert, and Tusk Nest. So that's really good because I have still seen some instances where my family won't move in those places. So it was kind of annoying. And I definitely wanted to make sure that I was not alone on those trips. So moving on, there actually is going to be an early notice. So the item drop rate for Chaos Rifts, Hidden Banquet Hall, and Hidden Outer Castle will increase with the scheduled update on July 4th. Please note the above information for the most optimal experience, blah, 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 blah. So Trials of a Tour entries, elite entries will be reset after the scheduled maintenance on July 11th. So once the Trials of a Tour elite entries resets, you can reobtain the completion rewards by completing each level of the trials that you completed before the rest. So make sure that you do your Trials of a Tour elite entries up to pretty much as high as you can go. That way you can get these rewards, and then you'll be able to go back and you'll do this again. So the rank for the highest difficulty cleared will be remained. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind. Try to do that before July 11th, I believe. Because it says entries will reset after scheduled maintenance on July 11th. Okay. So make sure you go in there and do that. And then content in which memory fragments are used will be added in future updates. All unknown memories registered on the market will be forcibly expired with the update on July 27th. Okay. So there are events starting, there's events ending, but I'll get into that separately. The next thing that I did want to look at was this Pearl Shop. So there's new items added. So under special packages, you've got the Guardian Launch Pack, you have Sand Peons, Moonstone Chest. So if you buy stuff from here, go ahead and check that out. But then also you can buy Citron Tea with pearls and then also black pearls. So if you go to miscellaneous and etc., you can buy Citron Tea. I don't know if it's daily or weekly, but check that out. Anytime that you can get more tea, it's probably a good deal, at least if you're buying it with black pearls. And then These are going to be all the new outfits for Guardian. They will be in the Pearl shop as well. So you'll just go to outfits and then you can pretty much purchase whatever you're looking for. I actually think there's more than what they're showing here because I looked earlier, and yeah, so there's a pretty decent selection. But yeah, go ahead and check that out. And then let's move on to our events. All right, so taking this from the top, we have stories from Mountain of Eternal Winter. So, as I said before, make sure that you do all of the stories. You just go to your stories tab and you can start them, or you can go here and click begin. The first thing that we have is that Guardian Premium login, where it's just a login event. You log in, you collect your reward. And then the next one's going to be Everfrost Expedition. So you'll have to do all of these things. So ice fishing, excavation, doing the mercenary board, and then also defeating enemies within the Everfrost region. You can get those rewards once per week, so just keep that in mind. And then the next one's going to be these daily missions with Guardian. Basically, all you have to do is defeat enemies, a lot of them, and you will get those rewards from it. And then by doing multiple of them, you'll get your pink accessories as well. So the next one's going to be collect snowflakes. You'll get these from staying logged in for a certain amount of time. So in the top left corner, the little stopwatch thing, instead of the normal rewards, you'll get these snowflakes, and then you can exchange them for those rewards. I believe also they send some of these in your mail, so just kind of keep that in mind. But that's actually pretty much it for all of the added events. So I did kind of just want to show you where you can start these stories. So you'll go down in the story tab, and then under Everfrost, you can click the Mountain of Eternal Winter. Once you accept this, it's pretty easy, just auto path. It'll take you through the entire story. But this is a great way to get started on this. But like I said, there wasn't that much added for the events, but there was a lot of content added. So make sure that you stay on top of this if you want to be somewhat competitive as a player. But that's pretty much everything that I had for you today. I will make this make individual videos for the stories and then also for unlocking that knowledge. So hopefully you like this. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate your support, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.